We were all very excited about the Eddie Alvarez versus Justin Gaethje fight. And now, my friends, we are just days away, 5 days to be exact. And how about this? You talk about the holiday spirit. You talk about holiday miracles. Eddie Alvarez is on the program. And I'll tell you why this is a holiday miracle. But first, let us say hello to the great Eddie Alvarez. Eddie, are you there?
Yeah, what's up, Ariel?
Wow.
Miracle, huh?
Wow. I can't believe I'm hearing your voice, Eddie. I cannot. This has been the worst year of my life. I thought it was it. I thought we were done. I thought you had threw me by the wayside. I thought I had ruined our relationship. We did so many great things together in Kensington. I came to see your hometown. And then just like a piece of trash, I was thrown out. And now here you're back. I can't believe it. I'm sorry, Eddie.
Like an old glove, huh?
Yes. Why were you mad at me, Eddie? Why were you so mad at me?
I wasn't. Yeah, Ariel, you get ultra sensitive. I don't understand. You've always been like that toward me. I don't know if it's the way I come off or whatever. You're an ultra sensitive man.
Because I love you. Respect you.
I don't have any issue. I need to do better at making you feel important, I guess.
Yes. Come on. You were mad at me. You were mad that I didn't talk to you at the media day, and then you said, no, I'm not coming on your show to talk about it. You were mad. It's okay to say it. I'm saying I'm sorry.
No, most of the time when I say things like that, I just say I'm messing around with you because I know how sensitive you are. But I never have an issue with you, man. I always have a good time on your interviews all the time.
Well, so for the past 7 months, I've literally been thinking that you hated me and were mad at me, and I've been bothering your manager Lloyd trying to fix this relationship. And this whole time you were mad at me?
Yeah, I think Lloyd mentioned something to me. I kind of laughed about it.
Thanks, guys.
What the hell? What? For what? What are they mad at you about?
You told me. All right. Well, I threw this out there. I said, you know what? Wouldn't it be nice to bury the hatchet before we get to Detroit, this big fight? I don't want this weighing over your head. I don't want it weighing over my head.
Bury the hatchet. I'll bury it right in your back. Dude, it's all good, Ariel. I love you.
Okay. Here we go. So this fight is happening. You're going to Detroit, or are you in Detroit already?
No, I'm in Mark Henry's massage chair. I'm at his house right now. About to do some training with Mark, and on the phone with you, just getting a little massage.
So someone's working on you right now?
No, it's a chair. He has this really neat chair inside the house that basically does everything: your feet, arms, legs, like everything.
When you were
no, I'm not in Detroit. I'm still home. We leave tomorrow early, so it's always good to be home. I'd stay home all the way until the day of the fight if I could, but we leave early tomorrow.
Well, when you were first told about this fight, did you have the same reaction as the MMA community who essentially lost their minds because they thought, oh, this is going to be so great, so violent, all this stuff? What did you think when the UFC first offered you this opportunity?
I did. I thought a perfect matchup. You know what I mean? The matchup couldn't be better. I mean, for myself, for the audience, for Justin, I think everyone involved. It's a win-win for everybody involved. And I think Justin's been a bit of a puzzle. He has that, like, the mystique now of that infallibility. He's undefeated. So it was really fun for me, this training camp, kind of undoing that and figuring out what he does well and why is no one been able to beat him. And it's been enjoyable, to be honest with you. Every day training's been enjoyable, figuring out this little puzzle.
Do you think you figured it out?
100%. 100%.
What could you tell us? What have you figured out?
See, I mean, there's not really a game plan, to be honest with you. Justin's been able to pressure his guys, cut them off, and do really well. And I don't think that the strategy that I'm able to apply, because I'm an athlete, and the guys he went against just don't seem to be doing what you should do. And I think I have the answer. I have the answer to what these other guys haven't been able to do, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. I think this camp has been the most improvement that I've made since I've been in the UFC. I think this training camp alone has been by far the most improvement.
Wow. Why do you think that is?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Mark Henry let me make some decisions, let me be myself a little more. We worked on being myself, being creative, and just kind of bringing back the younger me that's a little bit emotional toward this sport and not so maybe thinking so much. I got to feel a little bit inside the cage, and I think that was the missing ingredient. I'm thinking too much about game planning in the past and not feeling enough. And I think this whole camp has been more about me feeling and being inside the cage and just going off my emotion and trusting my instincts. And I fight my best when I'm like that.
Was a part of you surprised and or disappointed that you couldn't resolve the Dustin Poirier thing?
A little bit, but I was when I looked back at the fight, when I assessed it myself as like a fan that took the fighter outside of it, I sincerely feel like the guy fucking quit. And I think the UFC knows that, Herb Dean knows that, and they made him pay for it. And he's mad about it, but there's nothing he can do about it because it's over. But he's angry that he quit because, it's very simple to go back and look at the tape. You see a clear, conscious person who is able to fight just quit. And I feel like he tried to game everyone, and he got gamed, and he's pissed about it. And I don't like it. In the articles after the fight, he's saying, "Oh well, if the UFC just lets me move on and act like I beat him, then I'll just move on." But I'm like, "Whoa, wait, what do you mean? You're talking about a rematch, and now you're saying you'll just move on as long as the UFC allows it?" It was all a little funny, but he tried to game everyone. He tried to game everyone involved, and it's very clear. If you watch the fight, you see a man who's conscious, who's clear-headed, say to the ref, "I'm done." And that you can't game everyone. There's millions of people watching, and there's TVs there right in your face. And I just thought it was a little. I didn't like the way he went about that. I think he should have took his 5 minutes and came back and and finished the fight.
So have you moved on?
I clearly moved on. I've done a show. I'm fighting the best guys in the division still. And I still want to continue to fight the biggest, best names in this division.
Did you see his performance against Anthony Pettis? And if so, what do you think of it?
Yeah, he did really well, but I don't look at Anthony Pettis like anymore. I mean, everyone in this division's beat Anthony Pettis. I'm not. I don't follow Anthony Pettis, but I can think of 5 guys off the top of my head who, beat Anthony Pettis. He's figured out. Everyone's beat him. He's probably just going to get beat worse if he stays in the division until he finds a real good matchup. But at the top 5, top 10, he's been figured out. If you can't beat Anthony Pettis by now, you're just not paying attention.
Wow. So you weren't overly impressed, obviously, with the performance, and so you moved on to Gaethje. And I kind of feel like you get a kick out of fighting these champions from other organizations. It kind of like goes back to your like underground days, like Melendez. Pettis wasn't a champion when you fought him. Gaethje here. I feel like you sort of like this. Is that accurate?
I do, and I feel like in the division, for me, this is the main event, and for me, there's extra leverage going into this fight because I've beaten every single champion from almost every major organization you could think of, from Shinya Aoki to Strikeforce to Melendez to Pettis, WC and UFC and Bellator. The list goes on and on. And this guy, Justin Gaethje, was one of the major organizations not long ago. It was World Series of Fight, and he held the belt. He was the captain of that organization, and he flew that flag. So it's just, for me, it's another champion under my belt beaten, and I've made a career out of doing that. And it was like, I can't get to the UFC belt right now. I'm realistic. I'm not getting that shot just yet, but this is the next best thing.
Gaethje likes to call himself the most violent fighter in the sport. At times, he's a bit reckless. He has, been rocked. He has been dropped, but his style is just so much fun for the fans. Do you feel at some point this is going to come back to bite him in the butt? That this style only works so far, and now when he fights someone like you of your stature, okay, it's no longer going to work. In other words, that question, but also, does he have to change the style? And are you expecting a different Gaethje once you fight him on Saturday because of the damage that he's taken against perhaps lesser competition?
I'm not expecting a different guy. He's gonna if it ain't broke, don't fix it type thing, and his team knows that, and the style has gotten him so far. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't fucking know. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's gonna happen on Saturday. I don't, and I'm not gonna lie to the fans. I will tell you this: it's gonna be fucking nuts because I've spent a good deal of this training camp working on not giving a fuck myself, and I've been fighting better and better the less I care. So I don't have a crystal ball, but I could tell fans right now that nobody better grab a fucking soda or popcorn during the fight because it's going to be something special to watch.
When you say like you do better the less you care, what do you mean by that?
I think people go into the fight, and I've been guilty of it, worried about a game plan and trying to be focused on a strict game plan and trying to control the situation of a fight. And I've been guilty of that. I've walked into fights trying to control everything that happens. If he does this, I'll do that. If he does this, and I feel like too much thought is involved when you do that. And when you throw that away and just trust your instincts, that's when something really special happens. So I think I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly, but I've been trusting my instincts and throwing the thought part away, and it turns out it just makes for a more exciting fight, a more emotional fight, and it's just fun. It's fun to watch and fun to be involved in. So like I said, there's no crystal ball for Saturday. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get in there, and I'm going to trust my instincts, and some crazy shit's going to go down. Coach Mark will tell you that. All my teammates will tell you that. Just been a really fun and exciting camp, and come Saturday, I just want to fight. That's where I'm at right now. I can't wait to go to Detroit and fight.
When you fought in May in Dallas, were you honestly over what happened at MSG?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
You feel like you're over it now?
I'll never be, I don't know if I'll ever be over it totally. You know what I mean? I've forgiven myself, and I'm able to compete at a high level again. But, you know, being over it, I mean, how the fuck, how am I supposed to get over something like that? I don't know. I don't know if I'll live that down for a long time. If it was me, myself in this world, and no one else was here, I think that would bug me. That'd continue to bug me. So I'll live with that. No big deal. And I'll move on, and I'll try to crush everyone in front of me and redeem myself.
Does it bother you to see what's happened to the belt since then, that it hasn't been defended, that it's kind of stalled?
No, not at all. That's not of my concern. I kind of deal with the shit that I can control. And right now there's a whole nother title on the line, and that's the UFC's most violent man. And that title is on the line on December 2nd. That title is going to be crowned to me or Justin. And that title is the most important in the division right now. The interim belt, I mean, they just make belts up. So the more of something there is, the less meaning it has. So if there's already two belts out there, then I'm going to make my own come December 2nd.
Man, they should be. I mean, you're selling this fight better than the UFC can. I mean, this is like you're just printing money at this point. It's unbelievable. Okay, well, let me ask you this: do you feel like a year later there's no title fight booked? Do you feel like he should be stripped?
I don't care. I don't. Okay. I don't care what I'm not concerned what they do with the belt. I mean, the belt means something when it truly, sincerely means something when a guy's climbed through the ranks, he's beaten 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then fights the undisputed champion and beats him. That's when the belt means something. You know, just like in every sport. You know, when you beat everyone and then you finally get your shot at the champion, and then you beat him, you're the champion. if you're not defending it and you're not fighting, and it kind of loses its value a little bit. So the belt right now is meaningless until someone's crowned who's done what I just talked about.
Did you enjoy doing Tough? Did you enjoy being in Vegas for that long, being around the fighters, being the coach, a little bit of drama here and there? The whole experience, was it something that you enjoyed?
I had a great time. I rarely get to share this fighting thing, what I've been passionate about for so long. I rarely get to share my journey and everything. And that was kind of an outpouring of that. Like I've got to help people out who are in the same boat as me. And it's fun. It's fun to share it and not just take from it and take. It's good to see people in difficult situations and let them know, I've dealt with this, and there may be a better way. So Tough was a great time. It was therapeutic for me.
Any regrets about coaching advice, decisions, fights book, whatever the case may be? Any regrets about the experience? No,
I have no regrets. I usually think pretty long and hard before I make a decision. I don't have a ton of regrets.
Is it different? Is it different coaching women as opposed to men from your experience now being a part of the show for so long?
I never coached men. That was my first time coaching, period. But I think after a couple weeks, I was no longer looking at this is coaching women or this is coaching men. I just looked at it as I'm coaching fighters. And that's what the girls were showing me after the weeks, that they're fighters. I wasn't kind of seeing a sex or seeing, male or female. I was just seeing we're coaching fighters here and we have to act like fighters.
Was Kevin Lee stalking you when you were at the gym, asking you for autographs, things like that? What was going on there?
Yeah. I don't know. He was before he had a fight with Tony or whatnot. He was saying a bunch of shit on the internet. So his coach actually came up to me, and his coach, I was doing something with his coach. I didn't even know the guy was his coach, and I think Kevin got a little bit jealous. Kevin yelled over, "Hey man," in his annoying ass voice or whatever he's doing. And I think he asked me if he can have a tank top, like one of the Ultimate Fighter tank tops, and I could sign it for him. So I signed it for him.
And so then he said that you gave him this this present, but he asked you for it.
Yeah, he talked a lot of tough on the internet, and then he seen me to my face, and then he, kind of buried the hatchet. Didn't there's no longer talking like that,
This is great. This is great to hear, though. I there's a difference between this Eddie Alvarez and the one back at UFC 211. I feel it. I feel like the scars hadn't quite healed. This is a completely different Eddie Alvarez. This is the Eddie Alvarez from Bellator. This is the Eddie Alvarez that came into the UFC. I sense a difference. I don't give an F, Eddie Alvarez. Forget about the game planning, the tactical stuff. This is the Eddie Alvarez we fell in love with. Do you feel that as well? Do you feel like this is a different guy?
I do. It's my camp has been enjoyable. I haven't been like kind of getting through it. I've been waking up every day and kind of being happy to get to do it. And that hasn't happened in a little while. I just felt like I was kind of getting through training camps. Trust me, I work my ass off. I think I'm the hardest working lightweight or hardest working fighter in the UFC. So I work, but my feelings about the work have changed. I'm sort of happy about it and excited about it and grateful that I get to do it. And it's tough to kind of be like that when you do something so kind of strenuous. So I've been happy, been sincerely happy.
Were you worried that you lost that feeling forever, that it would never come back, that you would never feel what you're feeling now 5 days before the fight?
No. The fighting has a ton of up and downs, and I'm a happy person in general, so I find my way there. If there's a dark room, I'll find a shed of light somewhere. I'm always like that. So even though the sport can weigh on you a little bit, I always find my way to gratitude and to be happy about what I'm doing. And I'm truly blessed to be able to do this. It's the best sport in the world, and I never I beg to have a life like this, and I have it, and it's incredible.
I was just talking to a guy who took very little damage throughout his career, Ben Askren, and I said that that's the way to go. Like if you're going to go through fighting, go through with the least amount of damage as possible. But here I feel like you get up for the fact that you know this is going to be insane. This is going to be a quote unquote war. Why does that, like you know that you're going into it knowing it's going to be violent. You are fighting for the now, the newly minted violent champion of the world. Why does that interest you more than a fight where you don't get hit at all?
It's because I've been fighting. I've been fighting since I was 19, and I wrestled before that, so I was 15. I've been fighting about 18 years now. So the thought of a fight, even being in a fight, so it's a bit hard to get emotional anymore, So when I have a guy in front of me who can spark my ego and bring that out of me. That's why I say it sounds cheesy, but it's like don't bring the dog out of me. It sounds dorky, but maybe that's what I mean when I say that. Like, don't fuck with my ego. Don't make me emotional because I fight in a manner that's fucking violent when people do that to me. So when I get excited about a guy who I have a feeling may spark that.
Wow, this is unbelievable. This is incredible stuff. This might be your best. I'm happy that we had our little tiff and that you kind of, gave me the cold shoulder, because this might be your best appearance on the show ever. And you've had many great ones, but I'm giddy right now. Like I'm tingly inside listening to this. I want to run to Detroit. This is unbelievable stuff. This is incredible. Holy smoke. If it's all great, but you kind of wish it was 5 rounds, Eddie?
A little bit. I mean, to be honest with you, the fact that it's 3-5s, I think the fans will get better. I don't see this going. I don't really see it getting into the third regardless. So I don't think we need 5 here, to be honest. This in my eyes, every way I've seen this fight, there's not a chance that this is even going to hit number 3. I just don't picture it. So do we need 5? No, I don't feel like we need it.
Last question for you, Eddie.
Earlier in my career, I never even changed to train for 5, right, even when I had 5.
My last question for you, Eddie, and again, thank you so much for this. This was phenomenal. I cannot wait. I'm more looking forward to this fight now than any other fight on the card. Just incredible. Who's crazier, you or Justin Gaethje?
Justin's crazier. I'm a better fighter. He can have crazy. He will not have the crown of the most violent, though. I'll have that December 2nd. I'll have that Saturday night, and I'll wear that belt around my waist proudly.
Are you going to actually bring a belt? That'd be incredible. But you don't actually have a belt, right?
No, I don't. But I should make one before Saturday.
Let's do it. There's someone out there that can make this on 5 days' notice. I'm sure of it. I'm going to throw out the challenge to the audience out there. Eddie, I can't thank you enough. I'm so happy. You don't know how relieved I am that we have settled our differences here live on the air. We've proven to the world that grown men can do this. But most importantly, I can't wait to see you back in action. Can't wait for this fight. Glad to hear you're in a great place. I wish you the best. Safe travels to Detroit, and I look forward to seeing you out there in a couple of days.
Dear man, Ariel. See you, brother.
All right. There he is, Eddie Alvarez. Holy smokes. Somebody fanned me off. That was incredible. Wow.